Bulls got the Spurs tonight. Here's 5 keys to victory. Key number 1, we got to turn Wemby into a shooter. And we don't really have to do anything to turn Wemby into a shooter. Wemby has turned himself into a shooter. He's averaging like 12 three-point attempts a game. You know, fair play to him. That's how the game is played these days. I don't need to go on my boomer basketball rant, but Victor Wembanyama is absolutely unstoppable 12 feet in from the hoop. When he turns into a jump shooter, when he's popping threes, he's giving the defense a break. The defense is breathing a sigh of relief every time that man shoots a three. The Chicago Bulls defense is so bad, especially on the backside, that if he wanted to, he could have 50 points in the paint tonight. He's probably not going to do that. If we can allow him, you know, we should just sit back and let that dude shoot 12, 15, 18, however many threes he wants to shoot. The more threes Wembanyama shoots, the better off the Bulls defense is going to be. So that's key number 1. Key number 2, we got to attack him on the offensive end. We got to feed Vooch in the post. So Victor Wembanyama, he could have 10 blocks tonight. You know, the Chicago Bulls, they don't really attack the hoop that much. They don't take too many contested threes. So I don't think he's going to have 10 blocks tonight. But Vooch, we got to feed him in the post. We got to make Wemby work. Wemby, he's a great defender. He's a great help side defender. He's still a little weak. He's still skinny. He's not a great on-ball post defender yet. And Vooch, he's one of the few bigs in the game who actually has a little bit of a bag in the post. You can give him the ball in the post, and he can go to work a little bit. So he should be able to bully Wemby a little bit. I'm not saying that Vooch is going to have like 40 points or go off or anything like that. I'm just saying we got to make Wemby work on the defensive end. We got to rough him up a little bit. We got to be physical with him. So feed Vooch in the post. Let him go to work a little bit. Let him rough Wemby up a little bit. Key number 3, Zach LaVine versus Devin Vassell. Vassell is the Spurs' best perimeter creator. He's averaging about 16 a game this year, but he's the type of dude, he can easily get 30. So Zach LaVine, he's going to have to outscore Devin Vassell tonight, which on paper, it should be easy. But Zach LaVine this year, we've seen him have a lot of games where he just kind of lets the offense come to him, and he's kind of quiet about it. The other night against the Knicks, he was getting his, and that's the Zach LaVine that I need to see. So it's an interesting matchup, him versus Vassell. I don't think Vassell's going to guard Zach LaVine very much. I think it's going to be Stephon Castle a lot of the time. He's the Spurs' best perimeter defender. But Zach LaVine, man, the Spurs, they've been loosely mentioned as a Zach LaVine destination for a couple of years now. This might be a good game to show out and show the Spurs what they could have if they feel like pressing the accelerate button on their timeline by making a Zach LaVine trade. Key number 4, Kobe White. So Stephon Castle, he's probably going to guard Zach LaVine most of the night. The Spurs don't really have any other defenders on that wing position. Chris Paul, obviously, he ain't guarding anybody up. He hasn't played defense in about 10 years now. Trey Jones, not a great defender, a little undersized. Kobe White should have a matchup advantage against whoever he's going against tonight. So I need aggressive Kobe White. I need him. I say this every time I talk about Kobe White. Don't just be a three-point shooter. There's more to your game. You're at your best when you're using your speed. You're using your size. Kobe White's 6'4", damn near 6'5". People forget that because he kind of plays small. When he uses his size, he uses his speed, and he gets downhill and he gets to the rim, he's a much more effective player. So I hope to see that from Kobe tonight. And finally, key number 5, our bench has to outplay their bench. The Spurs have a pretty good bench. You know, they got Keldon Johnson spearheading them off the bench. That was a good move on their part, taking one of their best scorers and bringing him off the bench to give them a little more punch off the bench. The Bulls, their bench is going to have to step up. It's got to be, you know, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Modest Buzelis, Lonzo Ball. We need one of those guys to kind of show up and show out. We know Lonzo's going to do the little things. We know that he's going to show up. He's going to play defense. He's going to make the right reads. His plus-minus stats are going to be great. I need his 3 to start falling a little bit more. Buzelis, I just need him to get more run. He only got 2 minutes the other night. Most likely, you know, this is Billy Donovan we're talking about. So most likely we're going to see like 20 minutes of THT, and he's just going to be chucking up shots, and that's going to be their way to try to manufacture offense off the bench. But I would love to see, you know, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, or Modest Buzelis step up, earn some bench minutes, and give us a little spark plug off the bench. So those are my 5 keys to victory today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game, what you think about the keys, if you think I missed anything.